What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Xbox Games Showcase and Starfield Direct reaction stream. That's a mouthful. I am joined here tonight by the illustrious super gamer host alongside me, the resident super. Not anymore. Actually, Hophead's in the chat. He's the new resident superstar. Adrian Homeboy Holmes is here with me tonight.
You got there.
How's it going? We got
Try to remix it.
I was trying to remember what your other title. I said it the other day, and now I can't remember it.
King of Games.
The King of Games. Why can I not remember things? I'm horrible. I'm used to just having show notes. I'm a cheater.
Just think of Yu-Gi-Oh. That's it.
I need a script. I'm like what's it called? Anchorman, where I just give me a script and I'll just read right off it, whatever you say. But yes, we are here tonight. We are here a little late, so no spoilers. We have not really been spoiled on too much throughout today, but if you're in the chat, no spoiling what's to come, because we've done our best to not see anything. We're going to this totally blind. We're going to be reacting to the game showcase and Starfield Direct, and we are freaking looking forward to it, because Xbox has something to prove here.
This is make or break, honestly.
So I am just anticipating it being 100% bangers from start to end, because if it's not, what are we doing here? What are we even doing here? If it's not, I'm not even gonna upload the video. I'm just gonna be like, screw it. Like, you guys suck. No.
I want this showcase to be so good. Now everybody knows that I am very critical, right? With Xbox and how they've been recently. So I want this showcase to be so good that while we're recapping on the end of it, I'm online scrolling like, how much is a Series S again? How much is you know what I mean? I want it to be that good.
Yeah. All right. Well, further ado, what do we say we jump in here and see what happens?
Let's get it.
All right. Oh wow. And what's nice, we get to watch, since it's not a stream, we get to watch it in 4K, baby.
Yes.
At least I do. You're getting it streamed.
Yeah, I'm getting 1080p. I'm
1080p to you, but.
Oh, we're finally doing this, are we? Because I was going to make a sandwich.
Oh, we're jumping right in. All right.
Off the rip?
Okay.
Fable?
Let's do it. What do I think about heroes?
In-game footage? Are you kidding me?
We've all seen them, haven't we? Swanning about the place.
With their
disproportionately high cheekbones.
This isn't in-game footage. No way, dude.
It said it at the bottom. I don't know.
Look at it.
Roughing up bandits, because they like to rough up bandits, don't they?
Xbox Series X is supposed to be the most powerful console in the world.
Single night. On a day-to-day basis, I'd say the true hero is me, someone who's
this must be Unreal 5, right?
With veg on the agricultural side of things.
Eddie says we got 45 minutes of Spider-Man, so I'm expecting 45 minutes of Starfield. I mean, the stream as a whole is 2 hours long, so yeah, it very well could be.
This looks insane.
This does look insane. So earlier in the week, they put out a news article saying that there was not going to be any CG trailers. Everything was going to be in-engine or in-game. So,
Heroes is over.
Yeah, everything we're seeing here is,
this, if you will, is the
possible with an engine. Obviously, the final product we'll see, but...
One moment.
Oh, he's the giant.
What?
This is awkward.
Yeah.
This is gameplay.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No way, dude. They're just calling it Fable. They're not even giving it a number. It's just Fable. Dude, play it on day
That
one.
was incredible.
Okay.
What a way to start, dude.
This is the one thing that I had spoiled by me, because Boba Fletch and 8 Fletcher, I had notifications turned on Twitter for him, and it's all he tweeted was this Fable. I'm like, dang it. Right. So I knew that was coming, but I did not expect it to look like that. All right, this is also in-game footage.
This is that heist game, right?
In-engine footage, it said. Is this one we've seen before?
I
don't know. I don't think so. I've never seen anything like this.
It's kind of stop motion.
Yeah. like stop motion.
Death don't have no mercy in this land. Death don't have no mercy in this land.
This looks sick, honestly.
You come
Absolutely.
to a house and it won't stay long. You look in the bed and somebody be gone. Death don't have no mercy in this land.
Shaking bones. Been a while.
This looks
So,
incredible.
I'm
Remember
loving
that
this. Whoa,
favor
what
you
the?
owe me?
Another giant?
I'm looking for a creature. Huge, sneaky, teeth like knives.
Bro, we're 2 for 2 right now. So this is some voodoo stuff.
No.
I'm listening.
I know, I'm in.
Well, hey, how about you guys? No?
Please don't mess this up
Nobody?
and make it game as a service. Make it a single player story, please.
Not
Are they gonna make their version of Hunt Showdown? Honestly, if Hunt Showdown looked like this though, like I'd probably play it more. This is basically what Hunt Showdown is. It's like down the bayou hunting monsters, but like back in like the 1800s. If they made like a modern day like graphics like this, like the stop motion 3D. South of Midnight.
South of Midnight.
All right, I'm loving that.
That was awesome. Dude,
Okay, 2 for 2.
where has Xbox been with these?
Right? Hophead says giants are so hot right now. It's like on the indie showcase. It's always like gardening games
Frogs.
and frogs and witches. Xbox is like all about the giants. Every game's gonna have a
These are
giant.
dangerous times.
Ubisoft.
At least
Okay.
that's what
Massive
I
energy.
hear.
This might be Morocco.
No way! Are you kidding me?
They're everywhere.
Look at this.
But the world here belongs to the syndicate.
Wait, was that Han Solo?
What is this? We don't know about this, right?
If I want to survive,
It's
no,
a
we
Ubisoft.
did.
it's-
We did
it's
know
a-
Massive was working on something.
Okay, it's a Ubisoft game, so is it gonna be open world? That's what Ubisoft does. Is this an
Looks
open
like
world
I'm
Star
all
Wars game? Eddie says it was Han and Carbonite.
on second thought,
It was Han?
I'm out.
Yeah, Eddie says it was.
Okay. This is between 5 and 6. Man, this feels like 13-13.
It really does. No frickin' way. All right, Xbox. All right.
I've been held back my whole life.
The thing is, they're really good at showing off real pretty things, and then they come
Give me a
out.
chance
Remember
to
Redfall?
finally be free.
Ah, you're right.
Remember
but dude,
Redfall?
Look at that
Wherever that takes
gameplay.
I know. Supposedly, this is all
You're
in-game
offering a
engine and
way out,
gameplay.
okay?
That's what they're showing.
Get off my ship, Jalen.
Give me a chance. You're gonna have to trust me. It'll be dangerous, risky. But if you pull this off, you'll never look over your shoulder again.
I like that instead of doing like making another cute little droid, like she has like a little like animal companion. I think that was a good move. Like instead of like another, like we already have BD1, we already have like, you
The
know,
underworld shows
from the
no
movies,
mercy.
we have like R2, and then like I'm glad that they went with like a little
But it's
cute
a
little
big
animal.
galaxy out there, and I'm gonna risk it all.
Dude, this is what I wanted. Not the Jedi games. This is what I wanted.
Star Wars Outlaws.
This is what I wanted.
Oh my gosh, coming next year.
It's exclusive. How much is the Series S?
Well, we
How
don't
much
know.
is the Series S?
Oh, they're gonna have actual gameplay at the Ubisoft Forward tomorrow. No way.
Wow.
I mean, is it
Fable,
exclusive?
South of
We don't know
Midnight,
that.
Star Wars Outlaws. Welcome to our first ever double feature, the Xbox Game Showcase followed by
Oh,
a
that's
deep
right, we
dive
are at the
into one of the
Xbox
most
showcase,
important
huh?
Yeah.
RPGs ever made, Starfield.
I'm looking at
Gaming
IGN
is
to
the most
see.
powerful of all entertainment. It transports, it challenges, it connects us, and it's just incredibly and awesomely fun. That is why Team Xbox is committed to
So,
building the greatest place to play.
The Star Wars game
by
is
partnering
being
with the
developed.
most ambitious of game creators, and by unleashing the power of
Okay,
the gaming
massive.
community.
Also did the Division 1 and 2.
enabling
Okay, I was
all
wondering
of
what
us
else
to play
they
the
made.
games we want with our friends anywhere, from mobile devices to PCs to consoles. The lineup we have for you today is just incredible.
You already 3 for 3,
These are
Sarah.
the works of the very greatest creative teams from around the world.
So
we made this show.
we were originally going to do
you,
an episode
the
tomorrow,
largest, most
but
engaged,
do
and
we want
globally
to
diverse
react to
fan
the
base in
Ubisoft
Xbox
forward
history.
instead tomorrow night, so
You
that way we
are
can
the
see all the
heart and
gameplay and
soul
stuff?
of Xbox.
I mean,
Your passion
Maybe we
drives us,
put the
and
episode
you are
on
the
hold
inspiration for the
and
visionaries
just
whose
continue to
games we
keep
showcase
reacting to
today.
showcases, because I really want to see
From
gameplay of
me
this.
Me
and
too.
all of the team at Xbox, thank you. This next game is from Thunder Lotus, the award-winning studio behind Spiritfarer, who've gone back to their combat roots with an amazing co-op raid-focused action game that is uniquely theirs. All right, everybody.
Spiritfarer was
It's
a
time.
banger.
So yeah, it takes place between Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It doesn't say what it's coming to, but we'll probably learn tomorrow at the Ubisoft event. Ooh.
It's multiplayer?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh boy, this looks hard.
Weapon raid.
Oh, it's
All right.
raids.
And he says it looks pretty. Yeah, I mean, honestly, right away, like I was even getting like
Super giant.
super giant, like Hades vibes and stuff like that.
33
player. Oh my gosh. I mean, if you're doing like raids through dungeons, like that makes sense, but face the wrath of God.
This animation is top tier.
I like this.
I just don't know where I'm gonna find 32 other people.
Yeah, right. That's like everyone who listens to our show.
I was gonna say we get the entire Discord in one go. I'm into that.
2024. A lot of years, not very many dates, but
Smart, because they did that before and it
yeah,
burned them.
I know they can't deliver. But I mean, one of the things that we've been like
All
so
right, guys,
frustrated
it's a
with
simple
is like
job.
they
Just
really
in and
need
out.
something this year.
Nothing
So I
to
really
write.
hope there's a mix of games coming out this year, like fall. Because if it's just Starfield, like that's not enough. Okay, new Payday. Would this be 3?
Is this 3?
Everybody hit the floor.
Are these fun? I've never played them.
I got the second one for free back when I had my PlayStation 3. Like it was a PlayStation Plus game back on PS3. And I remember firing it up, and literally it just like, it's like, oh, new game. I hit the new game button, and it just like throws you in a match, and like didn't give me any instructions, no tutorial, so I didn't know what to do. So I shut it down and never turned it on again. So I don't know. Never played it. Never played it. The concept sounds great. Like just to do bank heist, like basically it's the beginning of the Dark Knight. Like yeah, that sounds great.
Do you plan them or do you just go in?
Well, from my experience, it just dropped me in. But I don't know if I did something wrong or what. Like I don't. Again, I had a weird
It'd be cool
experience.
if they started you like in a meeting room
Right.
and they gave you schematics and
I
like
imagine you can plan it, but again, like in my experience, it did not allow that. But maybe it's because I didn't have friends. Like maybe it's supposed to be multiplayer. I don't know. Yeah, Payday 3. Yeah, the idea of it always sounded awesome, but it just, there we go. It's September. Dang. All right. it's coming to Game Pass. You can try it out. It'll be fun. I pay 10 bucks, you know, 10 bucks for to try it out.
World premiere.
Oh, this one's voiced.
World premiere Atlas.
See,
here's the one.
I would have done a flip if I didn't know about this already.
Yeah, if it didn't get leaked like 3 days ago, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
By themselves too. That's the crazy thing. They leaked it. They accidentally tweeted it out themselves. So this is 3.
That would have been clip-worthy moment, Gary.
Oh yeah.
If I didn't know about this.
So this is 3, correct?
Yes.
So this is your favorite, right?
No, 4 is my favorite.
4.
I love all of them. Okay. They're all fantastic.
Yeah, I know you love all of them, but I remember there's one that you said was your favorite. Yeah. And I was really hoping that's the one that was getting remastered, because I'd be like, heck, I'll just wait for the remaster, but it's just 3.
I mean, Persona 4 Golden is like Persona 4 Ultimate, pretty much. So if you wanted to play that one, you could do it. But I would say instead of playing regular Persona 3, play that if you want to. Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of like Final Fantasy, where you don't have to play one to get the other. They're all their separate stories. So you can play 4 and 5 now if you want.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't necessarily playing them in order. It was more just like I wanted to play the one that you like the most, but also just like I know they're older games, so I'm like, oh, if I can get the newer version of the old game, that'd be great. But
if you were just jumping into it, honestly, I would tell you to play 5.
Okay,
that's the most
which
modern of the
I already
bunch.
have it. I own it. I think.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. So I mean, it's free on PlayStation. So I know.
Is this Avowed?
Very much, do they?
What's Avowed? Why am I not remembering Avowed?
Obsidian?
Here to the living
Oh
lands
yeah.
by an emperor who couldn't bother to come himself.
No, is it?
To investigate some plague.
Did it say Obsidian or?
Yeah.
That seems to be corrupting our very souls. You want us to trust you. But the truth is, you scare us. The way you fight. The power you wield. The secrets you keep. You're either here.
This is like
to
Skyrim
save us,
Ultra.
That's what it looks like.
or destroy us.
I mean, I'm gonna play it. Obsidian doesn't
Now
miss.
that you have all this power,
So
what are you gonna do with it?
It looks great. I mean, I'm just not really like a fantasy game guy. Like Skyrim, I think I played for like an hour and I was like, all right, this is fine. Like,
see, they put Steam on this one though.
They had Steam on another one too.
Did they?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, they had Steam on another one and then on this one as well. Xbox Game Studios presents.
Okay, so this is first party.
Rare.
Are we
Was it
finally
more?
figuring out?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Wait a
Oh,
it's
Sea of
it's
Thieves.
DLC for Sea of Thieves. Are you kidding me? Are they bringing Indiana Jones or something? Like, what's Lucasfilm?
was the
Or
biggest
Monkey
debate.
Island? Are they bringing Monkey Island to Sea of Thieves?
Oh, yep, you're right.
I was like, what? I'm trying to go through the Lucasfilm properties. I was like, Indiana Jones. They definitely not Star Wars. That doesn't
Welcome
make
to the
sense.
scum
Yeah.
bar, the most
Okay,
notorious
Monkey Island, I don't hate
on
it.
Melee Island.
It's just it was.
Wall-to-wall rogues and
I know.
Rare, I thought Rare was making a
Rare.
Star Wars game.
Rare's back.
Which
They're doing
ship
Star
is right
Wars.
for you? A big ship? A luxury ship? A ship with just a splash of je ne sais quoi?
The legend of Monkey Island. You mean Governor Guybrush. But Freefoot's
Governor?
not set foot out of that mansion for almost a year.
Hey,
Did you
what do
play the
think
new
you're
Monkey
doing?
Island game that came
I
out?
told you no
Not yet.
autographs.
Okay.
So I see you have a meet and greet ticket. And I guess it's not every day that you get to meet the mighty pirate Guybrush Threepwood, the legend of Monkey Island.
The Chuck has turned the memories of this island into a prison for Guybrush.
I started Sea of Thieves with a couple of friends and they fell off, and I'm like, well, I can't play it by myself. I can't man a ship by myself.
Yeah. I kind of did the same thing. I fired it up because I would play with like Nate and Dan and those guys a little bit, and then they didn't necessarily fall off, but for me it was just like they were so far ahead. It was fun because they already had everything. I'm like, oh, I want to like be fun to start from scratch with someone, kind of grow up together instead of like them just like
tagging along
on their crazy adventures. July
that's
20th.
close.
And the original game's free now, it said.
Mm.
So play the original story for free.
Premiere.
I didn't realize that. It's awesome.
I think it's on Game Pass then, right?
Well, I mean, if it's free, that means you can.
We got another first party.
Download it
Forza.
anywhere.
Gotta be Forza.
Not with this music. Maybe. Sobo? No.
Who is this?
Flight Sim.
Oh. The game nobody's computer can run.
The last time I ran Flight Sim, it burnt my graphics card up. So no, thank you. Eddie says, "Sign me up for the newbie crew." I think we have a crew. Is that 3 of us?
That's 3.
That's
We got one more spot.
Is it 4-player? I can't remember.
I think 4 to like confidently run a ship. So you're doing missions now?
I think they always kind of had missions, but they were pretty basic. Like this looks more, more in depth for sure. My pirate name is Admiral Firebeard. Is that a plane in a plane? Is that a thing? Do they actually fly planes places?
There's such things as cargo planes.
I know there's cargo planes, but I guess I never in my head was like, oh yeah, of course they're gonna
sure
fly.
Airlines sell planes to each other all the time.
Yeah, I guess so. I just assumed like they would come and buy and pick it up and fly it
racing.
back. I mean, honestly, this looks sick. If I had the money to buy the setup, see, my brother has all like the yoke and the levers and the dials and everything. It's like my brother loves these games because it's like he's actually flying. But like when you're just using a controller, mouse, and keyboard, it's not quite the same.
Well, you better tell him so he can figure it out.
Have him hook me up? All right. No. Eddie
Although
says
you're probably going to need a 5090 to run it.
Right. Coming soon to Microsoft. They're bringing Dune to Flight Simulator? That's awesome. I think the old Flight Sim from a couple years ago got the Top Gun DLC, if I remember right, Eddie.
And one of them got the Pelican.
Yeah, that was right. That was last year, wasn't it? They got the Pelican from Halo. This would be sick, honestly. Fly one of these like dragonfly things. I really love Dune. I thought it was a great movie. It still makes me so mad that JJ said it was bad. He's like, I fell asleep in it. I fell asleep in the middle of a theater watching it. I'm like, yeah.
JJ also said unpacking was bad too, so
yeah,
you can't really take his,
That's just infuriating. I was like, Dune was so good. I love it. He's like, it's too slow. I'm like, yeah, but that's okay because it's still a good story. Like, I don't know, like.
Hi, Melina here.
Not everything has to be
from
bombastic.
Our performance capture stage at Ninja.
Are we gonna date?
We have just wrapped our shoots for Senua Saga Hellblade 2.
It's been years, dude.
When we first showed gameplay for Hellblade 2, it was a look at some of the game's cinematic and immersive action, where Senua faced off against a gigantic troll on the Icelandic coastline.
Yeah, we saw that. It was gameplay mixed with.
That was 4 years ago, dude.
Was that 4? No, that wasn't 4
we're
years
taking
ago.
you deeper into
feels
Senua's
like
story.
it.
Her personal
It's
quest,
it does
her unique
feel like
perspective
it.
on the world.
It was 3
and the
though,
intimate
because remember it
journey
was the
that
same
awaits you
day
in
as the
Senua's Saga.
not same day.
What you'll see today is
2020.
all captured by the team on Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
When they were doing the first show off like thing for the Series X.
That feels like it was this last year, but yeah. Okay, this is in-game footage, it said. Not in engine. It actually said in game. So.
Now on your end, is it in 60?
Can feel them.
Yes, I'm watching in 60 FPS.
Okay, thank God. I was gonna say.
Following the threads of her mind.
I don't like the voice in my left ear. It's so creepy.
Do you ever play the first game? This is how it was.
Yeah, I did. I never finished it. I played quite a few hours. I got most of the way through it. But yeah, like having the voices in your head.
A question.
That's the video.
God, imagine playing this in Dolby.
It's never so simple.
With all those different angles that sound can come at you.
Has a price.
It's in my nose.
There's always a part of you that changes. A part of you that darkens.
That was weird.
Bro, look at Unreal 5, man. Look at the reflections. Look at all the stuff on the ground.
I can feel them. Feel them everywhere. The lost ones. They are watching us.
Like I said, rendering, making it look real is very impressive. But what's more impressive is what you do with that power. Make it your own thing. Don't make it look like the actual thing. And it looks like what they're doing here.
How can we make it happen?
It's time to find out. Why are they watching? It's time to find out. What are they waiting for? Senwa, what are you waiting for?
I'm here.
It's supposed to be towards the beginning of the game. She looks less like just
fierce.
Yes.
Are they?
Where are you?
She's not completely possessed yet. Like that last time we saw her when she fought the giant, she was like
hyped.
Rabbit.
Mud on her face.
Yeah.
Everywhere can feel them boring into her. What is she supposed to do? Do something. Ask them.
What do you want me to do?
We're getting so close to mouths being convincing, man. So close. We're right on the edge.
Our souls fought through hell to find us.
You were lost. Not anymore.
Trippy.
Are you ready for what you will find here?
What we will find.
What if it's all for nothing?
What if this is nothing? What if she's hallucinating?
There. They are waiting. There.
It's them.
It's you.
What will they do to her?
What will
This is
we do?
wild. I cannot believe this is an actual game.
Touch it.
Feel
Your mind.
your voices.
All the parts of you that are broken.
You can be whole. All the grief,
All the rage.
all the fear.
Everything I've seen, everything I've done has led me to this place.
We've come so far.
Not far enough. Say it.
You are ready.
Tell them.
I am here. Now.
What if we get lost forever?
What will happen to them?
What will happen to you?
I will not let them down.
She is ready. They know.
Go.
Who are these around you, Senua? Those you have saved, or those you led to death?
I can't lie.
That was so intense.
I was gonna say I don't take my silence as like a negative. Like I was riveted.
No, I was completely immersed in that. Like I was like, I caught myself holding my breath. I was like not breathing in that.
Oh, we know. Oh, hold on. Like a Dragon 2?
Wait, didn't they just come out with, or didn't they just announce a new?
That was the man who erased his name. But this
Right,
is the character
but-
from Like a Dragon.
I know, but isn't it the same studio?
That Japanese work yourself to death, overwork ethic, man. Maybe this is DLC. a mighty long time before you got scared, lady.
なんだよ。どうかしたか?
Oh, turns up, dude. Yeah, dude. Hang loose, bro.
俺がどうかしたのか? Huh? Huh?
How do you not notice something like that? I feel like
you
I would
feel
know.
the breeze, dude.
Yeah, I feel like I'd know pretty quick. Infinite wealth.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Interesting.
So this must be yeah, it's got to be DLC. It's
maybe early 2024.
It's too close. We just got the other one. What 2022? I think.
Bethesda presents. Interesting. Didn't say Xbox. What is it?
No shot.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
76. 76.
No,
76.
please don't do this to me.
76.
No, we need a new game. Give us something, please. I'm so done with 76. We need a new one.
This is twice they've gotten me good. Twice.
We don't know.
The rare Star Wars game in this. Oh, I was.
No, it is. Dang
No
it.
matter if you roam alone or spend your time with friends, you'll find a home in Appalachia.
I
where
get
the
so
good times
the
never
last time I
end.
played it is
There
when
are
it was still
relics to
online only.
uncover
From what I
from
understand, they've done
before the
major
war,
updates to
along with
make it
loads of friendly
better for
folks to
single
meet
player.
and
But
enemies
Yeah, but you only get a
Our
first
world
chance
is
at a
always
first. You
changing.
don't get a second
Greater
chance at a
foes
first
are
impression.
overthrown as we embark on
yeah.
expeditions
So I mean, I could go back and play it.
into
It's
the
probably
unknown.
great
Yes,
now that
from
they've added the
Appalachian
single player
settlements to
content.
Nuka
But
World on tour. You're never
I
sure
really
of
I mean,
didn't.
if you want to let me know how it is.
I'm really just ready
Think
for the
you've
next.
seen it
Like,
all,
give us the
eh?
next gen
Well, how about this?
Fallout. That's
Either
what I need.
either 5 or New Vegas 2. Either
Right.
whichever one.
Put your rad shield on and fix your hair up pretty because we're headed for the boardwalk of Atlantic City. So there you have it. Now you know. There's a million ways to make the wasteland your waste home. And when you hear adventure calling,
They got
when
me.
you're looking
They got
for
me.
They got me good, man.
Answer
They
the
got
call
me good.
of Vault. Answer the call of Vault. Answer the call of Vault 76. Play it now with Xbox.
Oh, it's
Game
out
Pass.
now? Whoa, okay. That's crazy. Oh, coming soon. All right, not out. Why would they say that? Play it now. Coming soon.
Play Fallout 76 now.
World
Yeah. But still.
Oh man.
Yeah, freaking sucked. What is this? Okay. Whoa, what the heck? Capcom.
Come on. Come on. Come on, baby.
What the? Do we know what this is?
No. I don't even know what. I thought this was Monster Hunter. I mean, I'm still interested.
Five out of 10. Not enough giants. That's what Eddie says. What a bizarre game.
It looks fantastic, though.
Path of the Goddess.
Path of the Goddess.
Huh. All right.
Hmm.
Using RE engine. Interesting.
Okay, hack and slash.
Wow. Okay. I don't know how I feel about
I mean,
that. Like it's just like it doesn't look bad, but it's kind of like it's, I don't know, just new IPs.
General
like you
Motors'
said,
historic commitment to
like you said, you only have one chance at a first impression. So like the new IPs, they really got to nail a trailer. I don't know. I just feel like that trailer didn't quite do it for me, but I don't know.
Now, Capcom is also having a showcase.
V-Series.R elevates Cadillac's competitive spirit to a whole new level with its thunderous V8 and hybrid power. The legendary
Forza finally got
has
Cadillac,
been a celebrated champion for decades. The all-new Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray continues that tradition. General Motors is proud to usher in a new era of competition with the innovators behind the new Forza Motorsport.
Forza Motorsport and General Motors.
For a second, I was going to say, wow, that looks awesome. And then he walked in, I'm like, oh, that's not the game. Never mind.
Bold steps into the future and bring that
What if they superimpose them in there and it is a model?
I'm thrilled to welcome the Cadillac V-Series.R and the Corvette E-Ray to the home of competition.
Yeah, that's more like it. It still looks good, don't get me wrong, but for a second there, they almost had me. I'm like, wait a second. What gave it away was there was like some smudges and handprints down near the bottom of the car where you can tell where they pushed it into the.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, they could render something like that, but
wait, why wouldn't they white glove
the kind of attention to detail would be like. Yeah, you'd think they would wipe it, but maybe they didn't anticipate a certain light reflection or something hitting it. This Corvette's supposed to be the electric one, right? Didn't they say the EVAT?
That was your best lap yet.
This is my timeline.
They're coming for you. They're coming for you and your Turismo.
Honestly, though, like it looks just as good. Like, it doesn't look better. It doesn't look worse. Like, I feel like now with the technology, like everything's just kind of on par. Yeah, everything's like really close. It's gonna be one more generation before I think there could be any differences. I don't know. Bethesda
You're not getting me
presents
again. You're not getting me again. I'm just gonna see what it is.
I have seen all that
Elder Scrolls.
You're not getting me again.
I have seen betrayal.
It's gonna be Elder Scrolls Online, isn't it?
Endurance.
I gotta tell my uncle he's all about this game.
Vision and courage.
He stays up till like 3 a.m. playing this game. I mean, I get it. I did it with Skyrim, so.
For perhaps the first time in my unending existence, I feel disconnected from fate's flow. Unseen forces move against me.
This looks sick.
For forbidden knowledge.
Like cool enemies, cool world.
Kept hidden. A secret that threatens to unravel reality itself.
Kind of framey. That was kind of weird. Like some clips are smooth, and other ones just like really bad.
I didn't know you could play it first person.
What do you mean? Isn't Elder Scrolls normally first person?
Yeah, but usually with MMOs, because they want you to see other players in the battlefield and stuff like that, they're usually third person.
Necrom, Shadow over Morrowind. That was pretty sick, honestly.
And that's saying a lot because
Blizzard Entertainment. Wait, why are they showing?
No, thank you.
There's something different about Null Sector this time.
Vote with your wallet.
They've taken over most of the city and they're rounding up Omnics. They need.
That's like the hardest thing.
You're not even gonna give me the game you promised.
That's the hardest thing. I wanna play Diablo 4 so bad, and I'm like, nope, not gonna support them.
I mean, you could.
We have so much to teach them.
There's places you can get Diablo 4. I'm just saying.
No, but I don't want to support the developer. That's what I'm saying.
They already got paid.
Save the city.
Coming through.
Been a while, Vivian.
As if I didn't have enough problems already.
So we fly up there, smash through anything that gets in our
So this is Overwatch 2, I assume, right? It's nothing new. Other than like maybe
no,
it's
it's
like a new season or something.
But I'm picking up reports of more attacks in other cities.
It's a fight they want. I say let's give it
This is
to
like their little sprinkle of PvE versus the full-on mode that they were supposed to give us.
Engage. Target marked.
Time to create peace with bullets. Greetings.
Such a waste of an IP. Especially having been there, I remember playing the beta, dude, for Overwatch 1.
They're acting as if it's just coming out, but it's been out for a while, right?
It's been out.
Why does it say a new adventure begins? Add a date in August.
this together?
Fight with me.
So that might be the new season.
Engaging.
Yeah, I just didn't say season, it just said a new
I
adventure.
saw that. Not bad.
Weird, August 10th. Yeah, maybe new season.
World premiere.
All right, back to the show.
What's this?
What is this place?
Oh, Tactica.
It looks like we're in a palace.
This got leaked too.
on? Who are these people?
No idea. But if they're attacking us, our only
This
choice
is
is
Persona.
Hey, look over there!
It's Persona 5. It's the Persona 5 characters, but it's a tactics game.
So you're telling me you're
Is it a new one or is it like a
steal
remake of
hearts,
one that's
and
been
you
out?
No,
just
it's new.
happen to stumble into this world? The Rebel Corps will always help
How
the
crazy is it that
Phantom.
Xbox
Just as
is
Phantom
the one to
Thieves
show
will
all
help
this off?
the
For
Rebel
years,
Corps.
Atlas had this
Never
relationship with
forget that we're a
PlayStation.
united force who can rely on
And like
each other.
last year and
I
this
kept
year,
telling
almost.
people, I said, if you don't
should be
see
grateful
only
to
on
have them be
PlayStation
my
on the box,
subjects.
it's not
You're
exclusive.
just a mannerless
They may
little
have an agreement with that studio, like an unspoken, hey, we're boys, right? We're boys. You're gonna put it on our stuff, right? But unless you see that only on PlayStation, it's fair game.
Yeah, but I think that's what's crazy. It's even though it hasn't said it, it's been PlayStation exclusive for ever, right? Like since the beginning. So it's just crazy. Like after like 20 some years, all of a sudden they're like, all right, now. I mean, yeah, and like not only are they releasing on everything, like they're going hard with like screw PlayStation. We're letting Xbox promote it. That's like there's like a full pendulum swing here. Like
Xbox probably outbid PlayStation to
get
those premieres.
Oh, another Bethesda. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Oh, Starfield. This is some Starfield.
Why? We're gonna have a whole direct.
We're having a direct.
Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown.
Okay, I can't see on my end, so I need you to tell me if it's 60.
Not that the field of stars is so vast.
I mean,
and if it's 60, is it a locked 60 or does it look a little wonky?
That didn't look 60. Everything's slow-mo. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, things look smooth, but
I wonder if they're doing that on purpose. All right. Okay. 25
We're
years.
all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all.
Is this game going to be good?
Out there. You're part of Constellation now.
I mean,
part of our family.
Everything they're showing is like slow. No, there's no way at 60. It's got to be 30.
We do not fully understand all that is at work here.
No finer group in the stars to be unraveling this mystery.
I think it's hard to tell. Like, they're not having any good shots to really...
Grab jump is ready. I love this part.
They're carefully editing this where they would only need slow-mo shots.
These artifacts could be
or sweeping vistas,
we've been looking for.
or slow
Another
camera
great
pans.
secret the universe
Well, that's the
is
thing. Even with some of the
asking
slow
us to
camera
unlock.
pans, so you can notice like kind of like a judder. Like if you look at the ground, like the foreground really
Human
close.
settlements throughout the galaxy could
But
be
which
at
makes me
risk.
think that's
Right here, right here.
Okay, that's pretty dang smooth. That could be. This could be 60.
We are not stopping. Whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity.
It could be. Could be a
Forever.
point. It might not be locked. That's the thing. It might be like depending on where you're at or what you're doing.
This is where we belong.
It seems weird to get this when we're having a Starfield Direct in like 20 minutes, right?
Well, I guess, they figure that not everybody is going to watch it.
September 6th.
Because people will probably peace out right after the Xbox portion is over.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, all right, now let's start the Starfield Direct.
World premiere.
Come on with it.
It's an interesting art style. Those rocks.
In-engine footage.
Heck is ethic.
Those arms are looking a little familiar.
Oh, you know what this is?
No, I'm saying the green and all the tattoos and all that other kind of stuff around them and climbing. I got some questions. I need way more than that. Way more.
Don't nod. Quality not final in game footage. Alright, so this is actual gameplay. So far, it's just a climbing simulator.
I was gonna say, you know that one part in Uncharted where you climb up the side of buildings and stuff? Let's make a whole game of that.
Yeah, which is honestly usually the worst parts of those games. Because it's just so repetitive and boring. It's this whole game, it's just climbing. I mean, if there's a good story, then fine, I'm good with it. I mean, people complain about Death Stranding being a walking simulator. It's like, all right, well, the atmosphere and the story was incredible. And it's so...
And that's what this looks like it's doing.
Yeah, you can climb.
It's not necessarily about the gameplay. It's more about
coming this
existing
year.
in that space.
Yeah. I mean, if you can bring me a dang good story and atmosphere to get lost in.
World premiere.
All about it. Secret mode. Who are they? Do we know who that studio is? Chinese room?
Chinese room did what did they do?
Oil rig or something.
Come on, brain.
Is there a chance we get Kojima's game? That's all I want to know.
It'd be that at the end.
Oh, I'm liking this. I'm liking this so far.
I know the Chinese. They made something I love. Hold on.
Oh, I'm all about this game. Still wakes the deep. Oh, baby! I love me a good horror game. Early 2024.
They made Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Remember that one?
Yes.
We getting cozy? We getting wholesome? A little bit of wholesome in here?
A little wholesome.
Paper Cut 2.0.
Whoa.
I'm listening. I'm interested.
Cool art style.
Yeah.
Love how all the textures are like posterized, like the posterized effect in Photoshop.
Like you're running in a painting.
Yeah.
Who's making this? Or did they say?
I don't know if it said. If it did, I missed it. Dungeons of Hinterberg by Microbird. Curve Games. Yeah, developed by Microbird.
I might have to keep an eye on that one.
Huh. That looks sick.
Yeah. So far, overall, man, this.
Excited to be returning.
I told you the other day you were
Silverhead
bummed that we didn't see anything.
in
I was
the
like, nah, I'll be at the Xbox
expansion
showcase.
for Cyberpunk 2077.
Can't believe we got Keanu and Steve come back.
This new adventure reunites Johnny and V on a dangerous spy mission. And
All right,
introduces
bro.
Idris
I think it's
Elba
time.
as
I
secret
think it's
agent
time for me to
Solomon
play.
Reed.
I think
it's really amazing to
it's
share
been
the screen
far
with you,
long
Idris.
enough now.
It's
They've
cool
had
to be a
enough
part of this
time to
game with you,
squash
man.
bugs and stuff.
As a player, you'll get to visit Dogtown, an
You need to catch it
unexplored
when it's
part
on
of
sale,
Night
though.
City, and rescue the president of the new United States of America. Expect a massive expansion, twists, secrets, and plenty of stuff to do. I know the team at CD Projekt Red just keeps raising the bar when it comes to telling cinematic stories in video games. And I really can't wait for you to play it on Xbox Series X and S. But enough talking. I'm guessing you want to see for yourself. And so it is my honor and pleasure to give you and introduce the official trailer for Phantom Liberty.
The charisma coming off of this guy. The you know, the chutzpah, man.
He's passionate,
There's gotta
right?
be a way out of this.
PC footage. Did you see that? It said PC footage with Xbox Series X quality.
Specs.
Yeah.
There's nothing can stop
Well,
that.
yeah, quality settings. So this is what it'll look like on a Series X, hypothetically.
Okay.
V. My name is Songbird. I'm an NUS intelligence analyst.
Now, if there's anything that's spoilers for the regular plot, don't tell me because
save your life.
I won't know it.
What's the catch?
I never finished it.
I need you to get to Dogtown.
I'm tempted to go back and finish it. I ran into a bug, is why I stopped.
You ran into a bug. I ran into a dozen.
Man's got 1,001 reasons to want Myers as a hostage. Sleeper agents. Time to wake them
There's Idris.
So NUSA's tossing us back into the fray, huh?
Stay sharp. We're in the wolf's den now.
Get Myers out of there.
Time to evac.
Her safety is the top priority.
Shit! They catch us out here, we're dead.
Wait, hear that?
God almighty! It's moving! Run! This way! Quick!
See, the thing is, like, this looks so, like, cinematic, and the game is not like this at all.
Someone ratted us out.
You know, V, treason ain't ever black and white.
That looks like the game.
It's a charade, V.
Wherever she goes, people get hurt. Bodies drop.
Just want what Songbird promised me. The cure.
The situation's changed. I need to know if you're with me.
Illusion of freedom draws in the desperate. Pick your truth, V.
Come on. Got iron in your hand. Gotta put it to someone's head. Pull the trigger.
If I don't do anything, and do it soon, I'll die.
It looks good. Like, honestly, yeah.
No, don't get me wrong.
September 26th. I mean, like honestly, like it makes me want to play through the game now, so I can play this DLC. But
right,
it's just like the main game.
I think I might have to give it a go.
All footage captured in game. All right, what game is it?
It can't be Forza. We just had Forza. It's a city builder.
It's like a
Skylines.
Game. Yeah, it's the Cities and Skylines. It looks gorgeous. Holy crap!
City Skylines 2. These kinds of games, dude. This is like SimCity.
Childhood.
I feel like I feel like these games can just take up just 1,000% of your time, man. Like, you can play this game for like a year straight.
I mean, you play it the rest of your life.
Right.
Just always find something new situation, new content, whatever.
Maybe I want to design a city this way, built on whatever infrastructure. And you could do that from start to finish. Like, imagine how long that took to build that. How many little things you had to put in place, ordinances, traffic flows, power plants, all that stuff you had to think about. Oh my God. My head is spinning just thinking about it.
Coming October, City Skylines 2. Dude. I just can't get over how good it looks too. Like honestly,
it looks phenomenal.
The thing is, it doesn't say anything about PC. It does say Game Pass. Never mind. I guess that's probably PC. Like I just imagine this frying most computers though.
Oh yeah.
Like with it looking that good, like no way. It's good.
And with how much content is on there at
World
one time.
Premiere.
More from Atlas? You know about this?
This one I don't know about.
Is that a new game?
This isn't Shin Megami, I don't think. We just got 5.
What
is this?
No,
this ain't 6. No. Okay, this must be Shin Megami Tensei. But we just got 5 in what, 2022? 2021? Unless this is a remake of one of the older ones.
Yeah, it could be.
It plays just like Persona though.
So intense.
Metaphor. I'm gonna play it. Look,
Metaphor
it's Atlas.
Fantasio.
It's Atlas, and it looks like it's Persona. Like it's in that
Premiere.
That world. I'm gonna play it.
Ooh, it's okay. This is
First
Xbox
party.
Game Studios first party.
First party.
Here we go.
Indiana?
No. Maybe. Banner Saga Trilogy.
Humanity's cities have fallen. Our people's only means of survival is to seek sanctuary here.
Maybe Banner 4?
In the Belfry.
This seems weird that they would brand it
explore
as
this world
the people, like the makers of Banner Saga.
to find
If it's-
the
if it's
origins
not,
of this evil.
makes me think it's a new IP, maybe. Maybe not.
And bring hope
I've never played them, so I can't really
back to our
say
people.
one way or the other.
Same. co-op adventure.
We always like to see co-op.
It's like a weird side scroller, like it looks like Castle Crashers kind of thing.
Kinda, huh? It doesn't look bad by any means.
No.
Together, you can save humanity.
Towerborn. Huh. See, sometimes they put Steam and then sometimes they don't. That's making me think, is it crossplay?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because how do you do that with Steam servers and Xbox?
World premiere.
I mean, they do it with games all the time, but it does seem like you'd think if it's coming to PC, it would be on Steam, but no, some of these games are saying like, oh, it's not going to be on Game Pass, but it's not necessarily coming to Steam. So it's like they are picking and choosing what comes to Steam and what doesn't.
In Exile. Oh, is this... This isn't Judas, is it?
This city is a miracle of progress. A finely tuned,
no, Judas is futuristic.
delicately balanced machine.
Oh, maybe I can't remember now.
This wants to be BioShock Infinite so bad.
Yeah, really.
But it only takes one rebellious little gear to ruin everything. If you resist my rule,
Watch, I say this wants to be BioShock so bad, and it is a BioShock game.
if you threaten what I have built,
It's an Xbox Game Studio game.
there is
I'm trying to think.
nowhere in space or time
What else has
will
NXL
not
made?
destroy you.
Let me see if I can look real quick.
Careful Googling, because you're going to have it.
What did I do?
I guess it doesn't matter. We're watching it. I was going to say, you're going to have it spoiled what the game is. But
They've made Wasteland.
Before my friend puts one in your scalp.
Clockwork Revolution.
BioShock Infinite.
Coming in due time. Well, that's not helpful.
That's a nice way to say 2025.
Yeah, right. Huh.
Thank
They look
you
cool,
all for
but
joining us.
it does look like
Today
BioShock.
is a special
I was gonna
day
say, I
for
got this
me
game
and the
10
team.
years ago, though.
I'm excited to see 11 games showcased from our first-party
This must
studios.
be Kojima. If Phil's coming
We
out, it must
opened
be
with
Kojima.
Fable from Playground Games, which will bring the franchise into the modern era while staying true to its British style.
I mean, I think they're
and
just
humor.
wrapping it up. That's how I'm taking
Compulsion
it.
and In Exile shared their first original experiences since joining Xbox with South of Midnight and Clockwork Revolution. And we are thrilled at how Avowed is shaping up for release next year from the RPG masters
nothing from
at
Indie,
Obsidian.
nothing from that Contraband
In addition
game.
to Avowed,
No
our
Gears.
studios will deliver Hellblade 2, an all-new Microsoft Flight Simulator, Towerborn,
Nothing
and
from their
more
core
in
franchises.
2024.
Right. Well, Forza.
Later this month, players can look forward to Elder Scrolls Online Necrom
Yeah, no Halo,
and
no
Sea of
Gears.
Thieves Monkey Island.
No
As we
Indie, no
look to
Contraband.
holiday, we will launch Starfield and Forza Motorsport, both built for Xbox Series X, S,
They
and
got rid of the
PC.
number. It's not. There's no
We
number
are
on
also honored
Motorsport.
to share
No, they're probably
14
doing it
games
as a
today
platform.
from our
Right.
creative partners, like Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft Massive,
Oh,
in
if that
collaboration
game
with
turns out to
Lucasfilm
be
Games.
exclusive, Garrett.
33 Immortals.
I will buy
from
a Series
Thunder
S
Lotus,
tomorrow.
Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess from Capcom, and more Persona games coming to Game Pass thanks to our continued partnership with Sega Atlas. I'd
Oh, they have a
also like to
partnership now.
congratulate
Does that mean
the
they're gonna stop coming to
Studio
PlayStation
Zero
now? Is
team
that how it works?
on Metaphor Refantazio It's great to be able to premiere what is next from the creators of Persona here in our showcase.
I mean, I'm down.
A lot of Japanese games coming to Xbox now.
I know, I noticed that.
First in
even though they've only
we
sold
do.
like 10 of them in Japan.
No matter if you
Right.
choose to play on Xbox, PC,
That's one way to sell more
or
in
over
Japan,
the
though.
cloud, all gamers are welcome here at Xbox. When it comes to our consoles, we have heard your feedback on two fronts. First, we have significantly increased our supply of Xbox Series X, making it easier for fans to find globally.
Yeah,
Where? I haven't seen one in
We
any
know
store.
You've wanted more storage with Xbox Series S, and I'm excited to share we have some news there as well.
Oh, the 1 terabyte one? Isn't
You
it
know what?
512?
Is it black? Ooh.
Back in black, baby.
Now look.
1 terabyte SSD.
Now hold on a second.
What's the price? What's the price though?
If it's still $299,
They dropped the price of the other one and have this one come out Oh, it's 50 bucks more.
for an extra for an extra half a
500 gig.
terabyte,
That's
that's
not bad. Comes September 1st. Pre-order today.
And now for the one more thing
Oh,
you've
the one
all
more
been
thing.
waiting for.
Okay.
Prepare for the most comprehensive deep dive we've ever done.
That's for one more thing. You can't do that. That's not
So
one
sit
more
tight
thing
and
because we know
enjoy
about it.
Starfield Direct.
Ah. That's dirty. That's dirty.
That was about as bad as the Fallout one.
All right. Apparently we have 45 minutes of Starfield. What the heck?
45?
Yeah, because this whole thing, well, it's an hour and 50 long, and we're an hour in, so there's another 50 minutes. Possibly.
Tell you what, this better be something. Because I right now have a mighty critical eye on the old Starfield here.
Right. Eddie says, wasn't Fable a flagship title? At least it was back in the day. Yeah, I guess you're right, but it's just, yeah, we just haven't heard anything since the olden days. It's been a long time since we had Fable.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to Bethesda Game Studios. You know, we've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks
Realistically, how
to
long
all
you
of
think
you.
Todd's got?
From the
I think
Elder
he'll be here
Scrolls,
another
the
5.
Fallout, we love
then
creating
dip.
these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do.
You
And
think?
throughout all that time,
Well,
we
you know
often
what,
talk
though?
about
Ed Boon's
building
been
up
around 30 years,
the space
though.
game.
Yeah.
What if we could take
So-
that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do?
Man,
And
I'm
that
thinking about that Series
is
X or
Starfield.
Series S, dude. I'm not gonna lie
Obviously,
to
we've
you.
come a long way since then with the
We already
games
won
we've
today,
built, our
Sad.
technology, and all of us here in the studio. We've done so much
Well, if
together, but
Phil is
we've
correct, I should be
never
able to
tried
just
make
walk
a
in
game
and get one.
like this.
That's true. That's true.
Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look. Starfield
All right, what we
is
looking
our
at?
first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG
I can't tell on my
through and through,
doesn't
where you
look
step into a
60
new
to
world
me.
and you get that feeling of unlimited
There's
possibilities.
too much stutter
But this
going on.
time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds.
It
Because
doesn't
the
look
choice
bad,
of
but it
where
doesn't
to
look
go,
60.
It's not ours. It's
We
yours.
don't need 1,000.
And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it.
That's just something for like normies to go,
From the
whoa,
rocks at your feet
1,000 worlds.
to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds. That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere.
All right, brother. It's still Creation Engine. All right. Let's
We also have an
let's
all-new
relax
animation
here.
system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person. We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in.
Space vats?
You can collect resources.
Right.
Do a mission, and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
Are we at least in the 40s or 50s, maybe?
I don't know. It might be, but
you can definitely tell it's not a lock 60.
No way.
All right. A year delay, and it's not even all right. Okay.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food. When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
But if this is a flagship title for the world's most powerful console,
let's head out.
You know what I mean?
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration.
Like that should have honestly, Phil should have stepped in and been like, "Hey, it's a mandate
of early space flight."
At 60.
And we've been referring to this approach
I don't care what you got to scale back.
Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously, the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk, which is all about style.
I wonder how it'll run.
You can see that visual style coming through.
I can see it running 60 on
your
PC.
Ship is your
I wonder.
Home for you and your crew.
Because I think they did the same thing with Redfall. It ran on 60 at launch on PC. It was just on
and analog
console.
Touch.
It was locked.
A bit of lo-fi rather than
PC,
sci-fi. Where
is it really a
everything
comparison
is well
though? It's like
worn,
multiple times more
and
powerful.
lived in.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What's the plan?
It better run on 60 on PC.
This is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations.
This is Mass Effect.
Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren
Eddie will
but
back me up.
resource
This
heavy.
is Mass Effect.
Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course
My
to
problem
ones
is,
that
how
are
do you
light years
find
away.
anything?
This uses your ship's grav drive.
What
to
if you're
fold
like,
space
hey,
and jump to these
I found a
systems.
random little
And you
cave
will
on
need
this
to upgrade
planet
your ship and
somewhere,
skills if you want to jump to
and
the
I-
most distant ones.
I want to explore it, but
for
I'm not
now,
high enough
we'll
level.
Plot a course to the Alpha
So I'm
Centauri
gonna go back
system,
later.
where we can find the city.
30 hours,
and the
30 hours later, and I'm like 40 galaxies deep. How do I remember which galaxy that cave was in or something to go back to? Like,
There must be some kind of star map or star chart that you can do that with.
I mean, that's what they were showing there, but you saw how many red dots there were. There was like 200 red dots on the screen. There's like 200 different galaxies, and
I
it's
wonder
like
if maybe you can name them, and then you can just look it up in a database like that.
just name the galaxy cave. This is the one with the
Good.
cave. Go back.
Or put a notation somewhere. That way, like,
there has to be something, because
like you could write a
otherwise,
sentence that says this one has a cave, right? And then when you go to the search, you can just write cave, and it'll bring up
As
anything
soon
that
as you
says
land
cave in
in
it.
a city like New Atlantis,
they have to
your
have something, because
eyes
otherwise
are
it's
guided
like, how are we gonna
upwards
find
to just
anything?
these
Like, oh, I found this, but I
boundless
can't
and
quite,
vast buildings.
beat this enemy yet.
It's
Not
the
high enough level or
biggest
whatever.
city
Don't have a good
we've
enough weapon.
ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a colony war memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
There's points where it feels like it's struggling with 30 even. That's what's scaring me.
No,
It's
that's
also
not
where
good.
your adventure with Constellation
I mean, you'll have to watch it back later.
begins.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. There's a couple moments where it's like the judder is real, you know?
Look, if it's, I don't care about it being 30. I
Welcome
care
to
about it being
Constellation.
below 60.
We have
So
a lot to
anything
talk
below
about.
60 to me
By the
is
time
an
you meet
automatic
them,
miss.
Constellation is sort of seen as this
It's a ding.
mythical group.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact. If you
Just
could
like
place it
Mass
on the
Effect,
table
when
here.
the
Oh my god. Look at how it's coming together. That means
This is exactly what happened in Mass Effect when you had the vision and the Reaper spoke
outside
to you.
the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate. Sam Coe, the
We
former
still care
space
about
cowboy,
money 1,000
and
years later.
Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey you take with Constellation is just the first of many.
That
you'll
dialogue
embark
felt
on.
very
The
just
settled
Fallout,
systems is home
you
to
know?
all kinds
Very
of different
Bethesda,
stories,
yeah,
people,
very
and
Bethesda.
That's probably
adventures
why
for
they
you to
put it in
uncover.
there.
Like when the guy with all the money talked, and then when that Barrett just talked, I was like, okay, yeah, it feels very much
Good
like
old
a
Bethesda.
Bethesda dialogue.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
You mean
New
the
Atlantis
Spectre
isn't the
program?
only city
Is that
within
what
the
you're
United
talking about?
Colonies.
Like in Mass
The
Effect?
city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies. Beyond the United Colonies' reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space. The capital of the Freestar Collective is
Starfield or
Aquila
Red Dead?
City.
I know. I'm just gonna hang out here. This looks sick.
fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Eddie's laughing at you.
Neon started out as a fishing
what?
platform.
Eddie's
but is
laughing at you.
now
I think
known
your
throughout the settled
comments
systems
about
as a
it
pleasure
being
city.
Because I'm
so
right. He
similar
knows
to
I'm right.
Mass
If you've
Effect.
got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Eddie is a big Mass Effect fan
Ryujin
too.
is
He
hiring
knows.
the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
A new face. Is this the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile?
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know.
The
I don't know
galaxy,
yet.
there are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all the improvements
spent that much
we've
time
made.
creating a character.
One of the biggest overhauls
Maybe
was done
20,
to our
25
character
minutes.
generation system.
We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities, and by mixing and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
He says, Crimson
Hey,
Fleet, why
come
not just
on.
name them
Come
Eclipse or
on.
Blue Suns, right?
Okay, take it easy. You were out cold.
I was thinking that, but
no physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
no shot they did the same
start your
thing
character
from
creation
Mass
journey
Effect
as though
2
you're cycling
when
through
you had to
employee
be
records.
rebuilt.
You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
Eddie's laughing.
It's also the simplest character generation system we ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars,
Why does the
piercings,
beard
teeth
look so
settings.
bad?
It's a lot, but I think it's
Beard
the most fun to
gate.
use.
Come on, what's going on here?
Oh, wow.
That looks so
Visuals
bad.
more than just how you look.
It looks like
This
one
is
of
also
like
where you
those
start to
Play-Doh
decide
toys where you
who
push
you
the
wanna
Play-Doh
be.
through and like
That's where
it
backgrounds
comes out and looks like a beard.
Backgrounds give
like
you a
weird
bit of
little
backstory
tubes of
and start you out with
goo
three
coming out of his
made
face.
a texture.
Chef to Dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are
I mean,
completely
that's not
optional,
new. You always
and they
get
come with
traits.
their
I don't.
own
They're talking like this stuff is
advantages
new or
and
interesting.
Brand new.
This
This
is
is
all.
just other
Your
Bethesda
biggest
games.
fan.
This is every Bethesda game. You pick a background, you pick your traits. Like,
Is it really, really you?
He'll join your crew and he'll give you gifts if you're willing to put up with this constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air.
oh, that'd be
That
horrible.
face animation is
every
awful.
I'd kill him. I'd murder
My
him right
favorite
there on the
trait is
spot.
kid stuff. You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very
Mark that
sweet
kid.
and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my god!
I came across some
Look at
hostile
that.
zealots
How-
in space.
was that
but
supposed to be
because
her
I had chosen
surprise?
a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
There's another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways
These
for
are
you to
Fallout
tell
perks.
your story.
Yeah, this is just
and if you want to
Fallout.
remove a trait, there are ways to do
Eddie
that
says,
too.
yeah, they're spending too much time on the basics. Got to fill out 45 minutes somehow.
I guess so. You're
Off we
right. You're
go.
right.
To another adventure.
So far, I gotta be honest.
We'll
I'm
let
not
you discover
impressed.
that on your own.
I'm not saying it's inherently bad. It clearly
Yeah.
is not.
That's the thing. This game doesn't look bad. It's just they're talking like this is all new, and it's not.
Right. I've played this game many times already.
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey can really begin.
Like,
We took
if
what we
it's
loved about
if it's a
skills and
great
perks from our
Bethesda game
previous
and it's in
games,
space,
we
that
put
sounds
them
awesome.
together to
Awesome,
create an
cool,
all-new
great.
skill
I'm down.
system.
But
this is not the
I guess
second
when
coming.
we were all
you
thinking,
get a skill
like,
point,
they keep hyping it up, like,
which
yeah,
can be
it's the
used to
second coming,
unlock
like, it's
or
freaking
rank
like
up skills.
it's
You've never
it's
seen any game like this ever
blowing,
before in your
blowing
life.
all their
challenges
blowing all their previous
associated
games
with
out of
that
the
skill.
water. It's like, no, this is just another one of your games in space. Like, you don't need to lie to us.
Challenges become
You just tell us
increasingly
to it
difficult
straight.
as you work your way to higher
If you
ranks.
don't have an Xbox by the time this game comes out,
With our
you
5
should
different
just
skill trees
kill
and 4
yourself.
ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
I like the xenosociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
The more
I like
traditional
maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my
skill
way through
trees
combat.
is not normal to Bethesda games. So this is
That's true.
new to Bethesda, but not a new mechanic to game.
That one's a lot of fun.
invest in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie, and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
I don't like to fight unless I absolutely have to.
I like blowing stuff up.
Yeah, fighting in Bethesda games never feels good.
Well, it's not only just that, but I like being able to try to think my way through stuff. Like, what should I say here, or what should I do here, or is my charisma high enough? You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like a stealth player. I always go stealth if I can, or if I don't, like have good enough charisma so I can
Exploration
at least get
is
out of
a
a
key
situation.
aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star
I just want to be a
systems
space
with
cowboy.
new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources
You don't need
to
realism.
help us make the world feel believable. From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun.
Yeah, you know, realism. You know, like the ghouls in Fallout 3. Yeah, realism.
At all the things that make that world
I just feel like
fun.
they
When you leave
are
the planet
being
and head into space,
like incredibly innovative with this game, but in all the wrong
navigating
ways.
asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting
Like I don't care
strangers,
about how the
dogfighting
magnetism of
space,
each planet
and
is different,
exploring
which
derelict
affects the
ships.
gravity. Like I don't care about that. Like I care about like how it's gonna
It's
like
neat, but
cool
it's nothing
story.
to be like,
yeah,
this
give me
makes this game different than anything you've ever seen before.
Ultimately,
Right.
it's about rewarding your
like it's
curiosity.
not that they're not.
Because whether
It's not
on
that
the
they're not
surface of
doing
a
all new
planet,
things. It's just
the
that they're
alleys of a city,
doing the new things in
or
the
the
wrong
vastness of space,
ways.
you never know what you'll find.
Well, for me personally, some
They're
people
spending
might
their
some
time in the
people
wrong
might
places.
some people might lose their minds over what they're
Oh,
doing. And
absolutely.
that's
I'm
great.
sure-
Awesome. Props to you.
I'm
for
sure when I go on the
that's great.
internet later, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, this is the best game of the year. This is looking like game of the year, boys."
Yeah.
And you know what? For them, it might be.
Space
I've
exploration
just,
is possible
you and I have played
thanks
this
to your
game
ship.
many a time.
Your ship is almost
Yeah.
like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship. And hire a crew to keep it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports.
Can I train my crew so they can run my ship better?
Every spaceport
Do I
has a
get
ship
bonuses from
technician
that?
where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some
Somebody
changes.
is absolutely going to jerry
You
rig
can
this somehow
customize
and
and
put the
upgrade
Millennium Falcon in
everything
there.
you see here.
100%.
And you have two ways to do that.
They modded so fast.
You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything from the systems to the look and layout.
Oh, there
Adding
you
a
go.
new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette.
This is pretty cool.
An
I'm not gonna
improved
lie.
grav drive
Yeah,
allows
no, this
for
is
longer
awesome.
distance space
This is
jumps.
pretty cool.
You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want. The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting, or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms.
But here's the thing. There's no multiplayer.
Our
so I'm
modified
gonna be the
Frontier
only
is
one
a
that sees
practical
this.
ship,
I'm doing
but
all
with
this
a little
work just for me.
creativity, your
Right.
ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is
I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had a giant tail to it.
Hey, if that's your
And
thing,
we've done
do it.
spiders, we've done mechs. So it's really
That's
whatever
awesome,
your
actually.
imagination is.
This looks like a freaking giant like Gundam landing.
While you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead
Then why wouldn't I
runs
just
dry.
pick them over the randos?
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run. And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Eddie says it's like Mass Effect with more freedom.
You might die.
Pretty much.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams.
I can see people ignoring
And
the
now,
entire
let's
game
take to
and
the
just
sky.
doing this part.
Yeah, me. That's me. I'm really excited about the ship part, but then the first thing that popped in my head is like, oh, that just means I'm never gonna actually beat the game because I'll just make spaceships for 30 hours and still be on the first mission. Like with freaking Tears of the Kingdom, like I didn't even finish the tutorial and I was like off and exploring and stuff.
Telling you that you can do pretty much anything, and that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way. We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster.
That's what I have crew for.
Yeah, I don't know about this. This seems a little too complicated.
Powering up the ground tries will shorten
It
the amount
sounds
of time
fun
it takes
for like the first
before you
couple
can make a
times,
jump.
and then like later on in the game, as it gets harder, it's going to be like just so
Or
stressful. It's so
just
stressful.
Bring up a radio
And
menu
moving
with
your power
commands,
to your
and then
weapons and
whatever I
shields
feel like I
means
need to
you're
do, I
ready
can
for a
just
fight.
shout it, and they'll go, "Doing it, Captain." You know?
Yeah.
You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there.
Like right now, I'd be like, "Put all the power in the shields and thrusters."
Unlocking
And
the
you just see
target
a little
control
trace
system
go
skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target.
There it is, bats.
After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
Can I steal their ship?
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's
Add to your
sick.
Fleet and retrieve it at
I'm
any
just gonna be a
spaceport.
space pirate. That's what I'm gonna do. If I'm playing this
But
game,
space
Why did they
is
just make this
way
the
more
game?
than fighting for your life.
I'm all about this.
Just like when you're planet side, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure.
That's how I'm
Like
playing this
these
game. I'm just a
massive
space
star
pirate.
yards.
I'm gonna go like steal people's ships,
Walk the halls,
steal
talk
their
to the
stuff,
crew,
go sell it.
maybe get talked
Do
into buying
bounties.
a whole new
Yeah.
ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship.
Oh wow.
One worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock a
Interesting tattoo.
gigantic battleship like the UC Vigilance. Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars. There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this.
Well, there you go, Garrett.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes.
Heck
I want to
yes.
take over ships. I'm gonna board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches.
Yeah,
and put 'em,
sandwiches.
you know, in my
Give me
cargo
all the
hold that I have
sandwiches.
specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just
Now,
start taking
when you do
things
stuff
from
like
people
this,
as
does
quickly
your
as possible.
reputation precede you?
Oh,
when you
I'm
go
sure.
to like
Strangers
planets?
might be looking
I'm
for a little
sure.
human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger.
Grandma.
I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to
What?
come on over, just pop on by.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own.
Yeah, like meeting
The
up with
thing I love
grandma.
most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people,
Bethesda and
and getting
BioWare.
sidetracked on zany adventures.
Yeah, right.
Then realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
And he says you feel the weight of your sins crawl down your back if you do it too much.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our
You're
handcrafted
over encumbered with
quests,
guilt.
and it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit.
Who cares about the planets? I'm just gonna just blow up people's ships and
want you to
steal their
feel
stuff.
1,000 planets to pillage.
Breaking ground on new planets, exploring every
Nah,
inch
I wanna
of a
be
mostly
the
untouched
space pirate.
galaxy.
Steal people's ships and go and sell them.
We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder. And sometimes
This game does
a little
look
fear.
cool. It does look fun. Don't get me wrong.
We're giving you a massive
But my feeling
playground and a
is
ton of
still the
toys
same. When they
and
showed us
just
stuff last
setting you
year,
free.
we said the same thing we said 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
Feels like a Bethesda game. Like there's like what's
And I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
Just they're trying to oversell it.
yeah. Now all the space combat stuff that is new and interesting. That's great.
Everybody,
course.
we've shown you
But-
so much stuff, but we thought we'd just take a little break
I'm
and
excited.
show you something a little bit different. You know, we put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into
Like
the
at this
real
point,
world
like
with our
I'll
collector's
probably bite the
editions.
bullet and pay the $10
And for
to
this
play it on
game,
Game Pass for a month.
We've
Like
done a
I'm down.
watch.
Like I'm.
It is the Constellation Explorer's Watch.
Oh, that's actually
this is the
kinda
watch
sick,
that
I'm
you
not gonna
actually
lie.
get in the game that acts as part of your HUD, where it's the compass
Does
and
it
then
change, though,
environmental
in real life like
information.
that?
It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information. And we've also designed this really
Yeah, look
cool
at that.
case that it comes with, Istvan.
Yeah, we really took as much care and designed this case as we did the watch. Our attention to detail in the game.
Now, you know what
totally
would've been
translates
really
to
cool
this.
is if they
Inspired
would've
by
been
the
able to
cases
find
that
some
the
way to work
astronauts
with
used during the
Apple
Apollo era to bring back
and make
samples
it a
from
watch
the moon.
face.
It's got an intricate locking mechanism.
Yeah, but they're a
authentic,
Microsoft
heavy,
company. They're gonna
comes
work
with a
with
Constellation
Apple.
patch, NATO strap, and the overall functionality
Where's
and
Microsoft's watch
believability
at?
of this as something that would exist in the world, in the Starfield universe.
Good point.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells
How much does
the
that set you
time.
back though? This thing's got to be like 500.
We
bucks
actually
at
have
least.
something else. Now that we're part of Xbox, we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team, and together we have created this custom limited
There's a
edition
console
Starfield
coming.
controller.
There's a
It's
console
awesome.
coming. It's
It is
gotta
now,
be.
you
That
know, our favorite
controller
controller.
is sick. I'm
We
not
love
gonna
this
lie.
because it's inspired by the actual controls of your spaceship. Not only
There's
that,
gotta be a console.
we've created the first ever custom
Okay,
headset with Xbox.
where's the box at?
And this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
Control, this is Constellation Starship Frontier. Ready to start on your signal.
That's awesome. It actually has all like the controls too on there, like that what they do in game. Grip
Really?
here.
No unit, no console.
They could still have it. But they're gonna show it off here probably. Or show the headphones and suddenly they're
These
both.
look awesome. They're clear?
I don't own an Xbox and I don't have any other Xbox controllers, but honestly, like that is like everything's sick. Either for my PC, I guess. Eddie says their watches
one of our games,
for their
we
Windows
always
phone.
put so much care into all those little details that breathe
The one
life
that
into
died
our
10 years
worlds.
ago, that one?
But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level.
But
The
you
freedom
can
to
do that
experience
with
both
about
the
10 to 12
exciting
planets,
planets
dude. You can give the illusion
and the
of
quiet
that.
ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think you could do like 3 different systems with like 4 to 5 planets
generate
in
the
it.
planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted
and
content
then the game
itself
could actually run at
comes
60
as the player explores.
and have higher res textures.
Our system
and,
builds
you
the planet
know.
as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter, ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Did they even try to figure out what was going on? Did they just run and shoot?
Nah, they're just like, hey, just run and gun, baby. It says pirate above their name. They gotta be bad. What if you're
Yeah, but
playing
what
as a
if you could-
pirate?
I was gonna say, what if you could convince them to work for you?
It's completely up to you how you want to interact with each planet. Whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views. With the help of your scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters, we wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen
You didn't
before.
want alien monsters.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
You said the same thing twice, but all right, we get it.
I was letting them cook.
It does look like that is the biggest thing that's different from like Fallout 76 and this is like
It looks way better.
is the lighting. Like honestly, like all right, yeah, like if you look, the textures look good, but I think the textures look good because of the lighting. Like they're the same textures you get from Fallout, but it's the light. The lighting makes a huge difference.
They're
Like I mean,
masking it well.
that's like Portal, like the RTX edition of Portal. Like it's all the same textures. They just updated the lighting, and it looks like a completely different game. So
After
same
some
thing with this. They're
exploring,
using all
you
the
can
same
find a
stuff
spot
from
to set up a base
Fallout
camp.
76, but when you
Outposts
fix
can
the
be built
lighting and
almost
add like some
anywhere on
atmosphere,
any
like the
planet.
fog and stuff, like oh
and
man,
the
it's
habitat modules
totally
come
different
in
game.
all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses and set up extractors to harvest resources while you're away.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam, where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves. So that way you can really plan your structures and what the overall feel of your outpost is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
So you can just go to any planet, set up an outpost? That's kind of sick too. Not gonna lie.
You know there's gonna be somebody who sets up 1,000 outposts.
There's probably an achievement, an outpost on every planet.
Right.
Add crafting and research stations in your outpost to utilize any resources you find or already have.
Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels, different ammunition like explosive rounds. All you stealth players out there will surely need a suppressor. You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid. It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
You know what? Even if you want to go crazy, okay, 20 planets.
Upgraded gear is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying. Zero-gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero-G will actually push you backwards. Energy weapons, on the other hand,
I wish I could
offer a
put them
more
on my
stable
ankles
shooting
like Star
experience.
On my boots.
We also have mag weapons.
The rockets.
These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage.
Yeah, but what do you get, like 4 bullets for it?
Yeah. Whether you want to get up close and personal with your own 2 fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger. Starfield's got you covered.
Can you just melee a dinosaur?
Yeah. Yes, the space Uzi.
Are we really not figuring out lasers yet?
They said there are energy weapons in the game, then.
Oh, I missed that part.
Because when they were talking about the zero-G, they said if you use ballistic weapons, it'll knock you backwards. If you use energy weapons, it won't, because it's energy. You know, there's no energy being displaced out the barrel. Wait a second. What is this? Suddenly you can use the Force.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful that you've taken the time and spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know,
Eddie, did you see you can be a biotic?
These unique and special moments,
just like
that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special, it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome is different. The word that comes to mind is vast.
I like to use our photo mode to take rock star photos.
I just love that constant feel of discovery and wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
You spend all this time building your ship, and you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is biomes, spaceships,
audio design,
planets, the day-night cycle.
Those details matter to me.
Diplomacy, exploration, freedom, the ending.
Vasco, obviously.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on.
Lever action, rocket launcher.
Brain sprout. I love, but some people might find creepy. I don't know. I know it's right, Ben. The thing that I enjoy most about the game is the freedom to be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It's what you've come to expect from a Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
And that's what worries me.
On behalf of all of us, we can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Let's go. Good luck, Constellation. You are go for
All right. I mean, there's no, like, nothing to scare me away from playing this game.
Yeah, there's no major red flags.
September 6th. It just still seems too good to be true. Like I'm still worried about like a No Man's Sky situation where it's not any of this.
To be honest, I can see a bunch of 8s. I think that's where it'll land at.
Yeah.
I say majority 8s, some 9s. I'd find it very unlikely that you see a bunch of 10s, unless there's just like, unless we're completely wrong.
Well, and with that, I should mute this before we get a copyright claim on that music. So,
fantastic showcase.
It was great. Yeah, it was incredible. Like I'm just so surprised by some of it, especially right off the bat, like at the beginning there. Crazy.
They needed to do that.
Let me bring up a list here because we can kind of go into our share our thoughts now. Let's see, everything announced. Thank you, IGN. All right.
Now I can go back on the internet.
Yeah, we can finally go back on the internet. Eddie says we got a date. Yeah, didn't we get?
I thought we did.
Didn't we have that before? Maybe not. I guess I don't remember. For some reason I thought we knew it was September, but maybe not. Maybe that was new. All right. So, Adrian, overall thoughts. What are you feeling on this Xbox Game Showcase?
Like I said, that I came in here saying I want to leave this showcase scrolling like as you're talking, saying, how much is that Series S? And I am doing just that.
350 because they announced the new Series S. So
right
there you go.
Yeah, this was an excellent showcase. I feel like they were firing on all cylinders. I'd say maybe there was less than 5 minutes of stuff that was like, okay. But for the most part, most everything looked interesting and like something I would want to at least try. Yeah, right. I would this is exactly what they needed to do, and they came and they did it. Only thing that's kind of iffy, but I understand because of how bad it backfired on them before, was there's a lot of 2024. There's a few 2023s, but there's a lot of 2024. I understand like why they did it, because the whole everything here is going to come out in the next 12 months really came back to bite them. So I feel like they're really recoiling from that and just saying, you know what, next year, it'll be here next year. I just kind of wish we had like okay, do you have like a fall next year, a winter next year, spring, so we can kind of get some kind of coordination of what to expect here as far as release dates are concerned. Kind of bummed that we didn't see anything. I feel like it's been a long time since we've heard anything about Gears. You and I were talking a little bit before the show about Halo and how it's having its major shakeup, so it makes sense. You were convinced me that it makes sense that they wouldn't be here with anything to show, at least from 343. But I was expecting maybe we get some kind of side content, a Halo Wars, anything, maybe that rumored battle royale mode, something. But no, nothing showed up from that, which was pretty disappointing on both fronts. I feel like, when did Gears 5 came out? What, 5 years ago now?
It was right before the series, right?
Was it? I remember playing it on 1X.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was right, but I think it was right before the series X.
I feel like it was 2018.
Okay, that long. Maybe. I don't know. I can't. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it would have been 18 or 19. I think you're right. Yeah. It's been a minute.
Right. So for us to be this far out, and oh no, it was 2019. But that's still 4 years.
Yeah.
To not even have a CG trailer is concerning, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, although like it wasn't the whole thing. I mean, granted, I never finished it, but didn't 5 kind of end like it's done and it's over, or no? Does it?
No, it was a cliffhanger.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I had heard if it was done or not. For some reason I thought beforehand I was told it was kind of the end, but that makes sense then. That there should be something new coming out, but. Man, so there was how many games here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of games that they showed off here.
Fable.
I have a little graphic here. So there was Forza Motorsport, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Fable, Avowed, Towerborn, Clockwork Revolution, Path of the Goddess, Metaphor Refantasio, South of Midnight, Star Wars Outlaws, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Payday 3, 33 Immortals, Flight Sim 2024, Dune, the Dune DLC for that, Sea of Thieves getting Monkey Island, Fallout 76 getting Atlantic City, Cities Skylines 2, Persona 3, Persona Tactica, Like a Dragon, Overwatch 2, Still Wakes the Deep, Dungeons of Hinterberg, and Jusant. Absolutely incredible. Like, that's so great. So I don't know. It was just kind of honestly really refreshing compared to like the PlayStation Showcase, which was just a lot of
they dropped the ball big times.
Yeah, there's just like smaller indie stuff, or it was things that we already knew about, like where this all this stuff was pretty much new, other than like the random like the DLC thing, Cyberpunk, Fallout, Sea of Thieves, Monkey Island, like. It's like, all right, yeah, we know those games, but everything else is pretty much new that they showed, which was incredible.
Right.
Which is what we were kind of hoping for with the PlayStation deal. I am super stoked about South of Midnight. That game looks
that looks
so
phenomenal.
Awesome. Like the art style looked great. I'm all about just like that whole like the
Southern
whole
voodoo.
Southern like that interests me 100%. Like hearing that kind of story and getting into that kind of world and like what that could entail, like that sounds awesome. Like Monster Hunter down south, like heck yeah, give me some magical powers, like that sounds great. Holy crap, the big bombshell though, I think, is still Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh man,
Right?
wow.
That's the big, like, Fable was huge. Don't get me wrong. Popping off the Fable's crazy. But then like 2 games later, like the 3rd game in, it's Star Wars Outlaws. It's like, whoa, what the heck? Like, are you kidding me?
It's Star Wars 1313. Its soul lives on.
That's what it looks
and
like.
This is where it went.
That is exactly what it looks like. Super stoked about that. I know I kind of joked about it earlier in the show when it was happening, but honestly, like, I really want to see the gameplay at the Ubisoft event.
I'm down.
So I'm like, do we just like call the show tomorrow night and just do a live reaction to the Ubisoft event? Because honestly, they're going to be showing off gameplay of
that new Prince of Persia,
the new Prince of Persia, the new Assassin's Creed, I think, Mirage, and then if they're showing off this, like, man, maybe we instead of doing an episode, we we do this.
Let's do it.
But or do the Ubisoft event, because that Star Wars Outlaws just looks incredible. Super stoked about this. See if IGN had any more information on some of these things here. Because that's unfortunately we don't have the press release that they send out after these things. But it's supposed to be coming out in 20. That's a crazy thing. The Star Wars game come out next year, apparently.
Like, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Massive has been like, all we knew was that they were making a Star Wars game.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And they've been quiet for a long time. So if this is like I think this is the first time we've ever seen anything on it. So
yeah,
for it to come out and looking as complete as it does, that's a very good sign.
Yeah, there's been random leaks and rumors, but nothing like confirmed. South of Midnight. Oh, We Happy Few. The people who are doing South of Midnight made We Happy Few, which I didn't play, but I thought it always looked neat. It looked cool, but I remember hearing
this looks next level from that. This looks like wow.
Oh yeah, totally. But what I mean though is like We Happy Few had such like and a lot of the other games from Xbox, like it just had such a unique art style, and I like that they've carried that on into this game. Like, all right, no, we're doing something super unique with this.
Shout out to Fable. That was jaw-droppingly good. How good that gameplay and those in-engine captures looked. Like I was not expecting it to look as good as it did, or to be as well written as it looks to be.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that was like
blown away.
Jaw-dropping how gorgeous that was. And then like, the humor, which is typical Fable fashion, like it's a little more cheeky, lighthearted, like fantasy game and stuff. So I've actually only watched people play Fable. I've never actually played it myself. Growing up,
really,
when I was in high school at the time, but one of my brother's friends, my brother's in middle school, he's a younger brother. My brother's friend had it on his Xbox, and usually my brother hung out obviously with his friend because it was his friend, but every once in a while they'd invite me. They'd be like, oh yeah, you can come over, let's do sleepover and play Halo late in the night or whatever. And so I'd go hang out with them, and then every once in a great while, all of a sudden he'd pull out Fable, whatever. It was the original Xbox, so I think
that's where it started.
I don't think Fable 2 was out at this point. I think it was still original Fable. But anyways, he would play his save, but he would not let me. He would let my brother play, and he would play, but he's like, no, you're not allowed to touch it. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So I've never played the game. I've just only ever seen people play it. It always looked great, looked incredible. So maybe this will be my first chance to finally play a Fable game after 15 years.
Yeah, dude. What a start. They just shot off like a rocket, dude. 3 for 3, back to back to back.
Out of nowhere. Spirit, the studio that made Spiritfarer.
The 33 player game.
Immortals. Yeah, that sounds absolutely insane. Like,
it looks great.
Co-op with 32 of your friends.
I'm always down to try it. Especially because it's a raid. So I mean, that's usually how many people you would take for something like that. So
yeah. Hand-drawn visuals of Spiritfarer. They're maintaining that. The game supports 33 players at once, coming to Game Pass sometime next year. Again, a lot of that like coming next year. It's like, oh man, there wasn't a ton of things coming this year.
Right, but there wasn't nothing. Things are coming this year.
There wasn't nothing. You're right. Persona 3 Reload looks great. I've never played the original game, but I mean, I'm actually really like, I don't know.
It
That
looks awesome.
Gorgeous. It looks really good. Doesn't look next
it's
gen,
pretty much,
but it looks
no,
like really
it's
great.
bringing it on par with, I'm assuming it's using the Persona 5 engine, so it's bringing it on par with that graphically, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Compared to what it was. Let's just say you knew people, you got it good. All right.
Yeah. Senua's Saga is also just coming sometime next year. So some of the games said like early 24 or late 2020. Like this one
that
just
said 2024.
20 sometime next year.
I totally see why. We were talking about it during the presentation when we were watching. That was probably the quietest part of the entire the entire reaction. It's just us watching that, because I was just glued to my seat. With the tension.
Very enthralling. Like just sucked you right in. Like, okay, what's going on? And trying to hear like what the voices are saying to her.
Right.
Like, I'm all about this. Like, and again, it's like lighting a fire under my butt now. Like, all right, I got a year to play through the first one. Like, because honestly, like I don't know how I could not play this. Like it looked like a movie. Like it's crazy. Like I'm looking at a thumbnail right here from the trailer. It's on IGN. And it's like, that just looks like a photograph of her face. It doesn't look like a video game. It doesn't look like a digital render. Like this is just straight up just
insane.
Like it's an actual image. Like this is a movie that you're playing. So insane. Like this is next gen. This is what we've been waiting for from both Xbox and PlayStation. Now. From both console makers. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not singling out Xbox here. This is PlayStation. What we've been waiting for, like, oh, what's next gen? When we first saw the Unreal 5 demo, like 5 years ago or whatever, it's like, all right, or 3, whatever it was. It was 3 years ago now, maybe, right? 2 or 3. It's like, all right, let's get some next gen. And like, we just haven't. And so I don't think this is using Unreal Engine, but we're finally getting that fidelity anyways. And it's like, oh, okay, yep, here we are.
It is.
Here we are. Is it Unreal? Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was or not. Man, it's so exciting. We're finally getting there, Adrian. We're finally
we're getting out of the valley. We're getting out of the uncanny valley.
Yeah, and we're finally like putting our consoles to use. Like they're doing what they were designed to do, you know?
Finally. That's why I'm not so gun shy now to be like, what? Whole terabyte of storage and it comes in black, huh? Let me see what you got going on. Shout out to because I'm sure not a lot of people were covering it in their stuff. The Dungeons of Hinterberg, the smaller one looking one that looked like a painterly.
That looked really good. Yeah,
action RPG looked like.
Yeah,
I'm into that. I want to follow that and see where that goes.
So on IGN, it just says the game is coming to Game Pass sometime in early 2024. It's just weird because everything else is very specific. It's like, oh, it's coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC. And this one just says coming to Game Pass, which I don't know. It's just weird to me that why are they being weird?
Do you think it's an exclusive?
I wonder. Like you can only get it through Game Pass. So the game that another game that I'm stoked about, but called Still Wakes the Deep. That one also says the same thing. It says coming to Game Pass on day one. So I wonder if it is a Game Pass exclusive. Like not only is it an Xbox exclusive, but you have to have Game Pass to play it. I wonder.
Right.
Interesting.
Forza looking outstanding as always.
Always does. Yeah, always looks great. And again, like if I had an Xbox, I think I've talked about this before. Might have been even last year at the conference. Their showcase, but I think if I had an Xbox console, I'd be more eager to play Forza. But because I don't, like I never touch them, and I know like, and I remember when I said this before, everyone's like, "What? That's so weird. It's so random." But I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's like I equate racing games so much with a console experience and using a controller, and I know you can use a controller on PC. But it just feels wrong to me still. Like
even more so than a wheel, you feel like wouldn't?
Oh no, I mean a wheel would be ideal, but I don't have $500 laying around to buy a wheel.
Fair.
Like growing up with Gran Turismo 1 on the PS1, and then literally growing up with the game like that, using controllers every step of the way on PlayStation. Like it just feels like, oh, this is a console game that I use with a controller. Wheel feels good. There's a small portion of time where my dad did have a steering wheel. I think we borrowed one from like a friend or something like that, and it was fantastic. But yeah, like, so for me, it's like, because when you're on your computer, it's like playing with mouse and keyboard is so weird. Like, and again, I know you can plug a controller in, but it still just feels weird. I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain. You know what it is? The same way you feel about playing like emulated like a Game Boy game or something like that. Like it's the same game, but if there's just a weird input difference. You know what I mean? We had this conversation a few weeks ago about like,
yeah, no, I was saying like they're
like how like it never looks quite the same. It never feels quite the same.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't feel quite the same as like actually playing it on. Granted, PC might have all or emulators might have all these upscaling options and better frame rates and all that, but it's not the same as playing it on whatever console or system that it actually came out on. It's just there's some like mental link with that completes the experience when you play it on the actual thing.
Yes. And so that's, even though Forza is very much a PC game, that's the thing that's in my head. That exactly what you feel with emulator to retro games, racing games being on a PC feels so wrong to me for whatever reason. Like, it's hard for me, like it feels weird to play. And so yeah, so it's like, man, like sometimes I wish I had an Xbox, a Series S or whatever, just so I could like jump into some Forza.
Well, just like you said, it's $349 in September.
$349 coming out in a few months, maybe be my birthday Christmas present. There we go. Just tell Trudy I need an Xbox. She's like, babe, you have 3 PlayStations, a computer, a Switch, a Steam Deck, a Wii.
This will be a Garrett to Garrett birthday gift, okay? Judy don't need to know about that one. All right.
Oh, shoot. What if she's watching the stream? I'm in trouble.
Oh, no.
I'm in trouble. No. Oh, man. Yeah, Eddie says, and they'll never run out again. Remember when he said, like, we've been making you'll find them all the time in your store.
I should be able to walk into my local 7-Eleven and they'll have them there on the shelf ready for me to pick up,
right next to the roller hot dogs.
One more thing, I guess it's finally time for me to give Cyberpunk a fair old actual fair shake and actually try to play through it now that it's been about 3 years and a bunch of updates later. Hopefully it's finally a complete coherent experience that I can get through, because that was the thing about Cyberpunk is I didn't hate what I played. I really liked the world. I think we talked about I talked about this before. I said I think Night City architecturally is rapture level with how well constructed and how like
it's pretty good. It's pretty decent.
It's put together, but it was so many things. It was not ready for prime time technologically. It was just so far behind and needed so much work that I was like, I cannot do this. This game is not done. But now that it is, time for me to give it a shot.
Yeah, you got a few months before DLC Liberty City comes out, featuring,
which was really good. They got Keanu back. Idris is in it now. So you were saying that it looked a little CG heavy though, right? Like it looked a little cutscene heavy. Like it doesn't look like the game played.
Yeah. So to me, some of those scenes like looked very much like, oh, this is a cutscene. Okay, this is another cutscene. This is another cutscene. It didn't, like, I don't know. And maybe I had the graphical settings wonky on my PC when I played it, back when it came out. But and you know what? Yeah, you know what? That's probably has a lot to do with it. Because my computer, I can do ray tracing, but when at launch, it ran at like 12 frames per second. So I didn't use ray tracing. So that's probably it. Is obviously anything they show in a trailer is going to have like ray tracing on ultra and all this stuff.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, my game did not look like that, but I also couldn't run high settings with high ray tracing all the time either. So if I had my 4090 and
unless you want a space heater in your room,
in my office, so that's probably a good thing to mention. Is you're right. Like it didn't look as good as what I'm used to, but it's because I could only play it on like medium to high, like,
Mhm.
but with no ray tracing. Like as soon as even if I put on the lowest settings and turn on ray tracing, like it was rough. It was really bad. So yeah, I don't know, but again, they've been doing a lot of bug squashes and optimization over the last couple years, so maybe I could run on it with ray tracing on now. Who knows? I haven't fired it up.
I would give it a shot if I were you. You can see.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to the reveal, which we were saying is a pretty big deal because they are really pushing this thing to where they want to penetrate the Japanese market for some reason. I don't know what Xbox's obsession is with wanting to be liked by Japan so bad. I don't get it.
I mean, they want money. They want money, so they want to sell over there.
They've been trying since the original Xbox to sell over there, and they never do.
Yeah, but if you look at their slate of games, they might have one or two like Japanese games, but in general, it's a very, very American heavy development like game. So honestly, this is the most Japanese games that I've ever seen coming to an Xbox, I feel like. So
you weren't there in the 360 days then, because they had a whole thing with Square Enix where they had a whole slate. And I remember they were kicking that off. Final Fantasy 13 was the big, like, we're getting Final Fantasy 16 just like Sony is. And then it was like JRPG. Lost Odyssey was another big JRPG that was coming out in those days. But they've been trying to make an effort to get in the Japanese market for the longest time. And they'll spend all this money. And then they sell like 6 consoles in Japan for the life of it. And it's like, well, clearly they don't want you there, right? Like, you know,
they're happy
Japan
with
is
PlayStation and Nintendo.
They are very loyal, bordering on xenophobic with a lot of tendencies, and their companies and businesses are definitely one of those aspects. So they clearly do not want Xbox stuff, but Phil just keeps pushing, and like I said, I don't know what the end goal is here.
I mean, one day, you never know. One day it could just like be like a switch flipping, and there you go. And then it happens.
Like I said, you never want anybody to fail, but you kind of got to be realistic. When you have 15 years of data that's showing that they don't want you there, you know, well, it's the definition of insanity. Shout out to the Persona team for the reveal for their new project, which is interesting that they didn't go with a Persona title. They're doing something different with Metaphor. Let me see. Refantazio is the new game. It shares a bunch of systems with Persona. The bond system, the combat looks like a Persona game. It looks like to be heavily story based. It's an RPG. So yeah. I don't exactly know what the plot is, of course, because they don't really give too much away. You don't want to give too much story in a story-based game. But it looked really good. It looked like there was a whole lot going on. And it looks like a Persona game that is taking advantage of next-gen hardware. So I will definitely be keeping an eye on that and seeing what is gonna shake out of that. But it's wild that we got it in an Xbox reveal and not anywhere else.
Oh yeah, totally. Cool. Oh, Eddie says, can't wait for Mass Effect Starfield.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that next year, kind of wrap things up, because I mean, we already shared a lot of our thoughts on Starfield while it was going on. Like we kind of talked a lot through that, but to kind of like summarize our thoughts then on that Starfield showcase. I mean, was there anything else from the main game showcase you want to talk about? I feel like we could pretty much talk about everything other than like a dragon and stuff like that. But
yeah, Like a Dragon is probably going to be everywhere. Persona 5 Tactica, that's probably a smaller side game. I wouldn't be surprised if it was good, but I'm not necessarily chomping at the bit for it, even though I like Tactics and I like Persona. I don't know. Avowed, it's Obsidian. They don't miss. I am gonna play it. I don't know what more they want me to say about that. I think we talked about the Persona 3 remake.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gist of the headlines anyway of the showcase.
Great showcase. Like I give this like
fantastic
8 or 9, honestly.
I would say 9.
Yeah.
Just with how much stuff was here and how much high quality stuff was here. But if we want to do a quick rapid fire on the Starfield aspect, I think we share the same sentiment where this looks like a very good game. It looks like a very good, very well-made game by Bethesda. However, it looks like a I don't want to say standard. It looks familiar to every other game Bethesda has made. And the reason that we keep saying that is because Xbox and Bethesda are trying to make this feel like it's what game actually is what they're trying to make this game feel like. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're trying to make this game feel like a Last of Us Part 2.
Right.
And it's not.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah,
as far as like a magnitude.
There's such a to really just boil it down. There's just a huge hype around it that they're creating themselves again. Yeah, and that's, I think you nailed it, is they're trying to make it seem like this is going to change everything in storytelling and change everything in gameplay, and this is going to be like games are going to become after this and going to be inspired by Starfield, and it's like
right.
And the whole time I love how you were just like, wait, this is just from Mass Effect. Like everything was just like, oh, this and that.
80% of this game is stuff that happened in Mass Effect. It's Bethesda Mass Effect. Am I mad at that? No.
Yeah,
but
no, that's
we
not
have
bad.
to be realistic.
Yeah,
This has all been done. It's all been done.
Yeah, and I think that's the most like again, at the end of the day, I am excited about this game now. And I'm probably most likely gonna play it. I'm gonna play this game. But I think there's just like this weird like nagging frustration where it's just like, yeah, again, like their whole idea, like talking as if it's like groundbreaking, and it's like it's not.
Had this just been Bethesda's next game, I'd have been way more excited for it than them promoting it as like, this transcends video games. This is modern art. This is the peak of human expression.
It's like they're trying too hard to get people hyped up.
Right.
I don't like it. Like I don't like I make me there's like the devil on my shoulder. It's just like, don't play it just to spite them. Just be. I mean, it wouldn't hurt them at all. That's the thing. It just hurt myself. But it's just like, yeah, that weird feeling where it's just like why are you going so hard to convince us to play this game? Like, you don't have to. If you would have said,
you're already Bethesda.
If you said Bethesda in space, I'd be like, awesome, 100%, I'm in.
Let me know when it's done.
But yeah, the fact that they're going so hard to convince us, like as if we're not already convinced just by saying it's a Bethesda game in space.
That's all you had to say.
It just gives me so much worry. Like, what are they overcompensating for? So I don't know. I'm hesitant.
Well, they're overcompensating for Xbox not having anything left in 2023. That's what they're overcompensating for.
That's true.
So they're trying to make this. Okay, I figured it out. I figured it out. They're trying to make this feel like it's worth not having anything else for the rest of the year. Like, feels like, look, I know the rest of the year was really light, right? But this is gonna make up for the rest of it. Yeah. This is it. This is why you bought an Xbox. If you bought an Xbox in 2023. Yeah. This is it,
Yeah,
because it's this and Forza this year, pretty much.
Other than DLC stuff, yeah, I think so.
Right. I mean, that's where we're at. So overall, from start to finish, though, it was an excellent showcase.
Yes,
this is probably the best one that they've done in a long time. It's got me very excited for the future of Xbox to see exactly how they're going to plan these. How all of these are going to play out. They all look really good. I still need to know if that Star Wars game is going to be exclusive. That would be a bombshell if it was.
We'll find out tomorrow night when we watch it together. Ubisoft.
I feel like Disney, though, they're so money hungry that they probably wouldn't entertain that. So it's most likely going to be multi-plat. But imagine if it was Xbox exclusive, though, dude. That'd be insane.
Yeah. That would just really, I mean, they already smashed PlayStation's showcase, but that would just like
That would bury
them.
it.
That would straight up bury them. But yeah, I think you're right. We're like Disney likes money too much. Like, I don't know if they could do that, but you never know. All right. Oh, cool. That is it for the Xbox Game Showcase and Starfield Direct Reaction stream here for you. I guess we're calling audible, and tomorrow night's have an episode. We're going to be watching Ubisoft Forward because we want to see more about the Star Wars game as well as some of the other things we've seen over the last few days. So tune in again tomorrow night at 7:30 is when we normally do stuff, but so around 7:30, 7:30, we'll see. I think, normally when we do our episode 7:30, so we'll plan on around
just be
there.
Here around that time, the 7 o'clock hour. How about that?
If you follow us and hit the bell, you'll get the notification when we go live. Twitch.tv/the But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night, Monday night, for watching Ubisoft Forward. Remember, no spoilers, please. And we'll check everything else that you missed over at youtube.com/supergamerboys, all the previous showcases that we've been reacting to, and future ones, obviously. So if you're not able to make it tomorrow night, well, you can catch it over on our channel later. So, all right. Well, that's all we got for you. We appreciate you hanging out, and we will see you all tomorrow.
All righty. Take it easy.
Peace.